Since the very beginning, winches have played a huge role in our expeditions. Without them, many of our trips would have failed or been severely set back. It's a skill we are always honing, and you should too. Andy from Warren has come in to teach the basics to a few of us who are still pretty new to it all. So sit back and relax for a quick 7-minute crash course on the basics of winching. All right, how's it going, guys? Today, the whole XO crew is here with our good friend Andy from Warren. He came in from Oregon for a couple days to hang out with us to teach us all about winch basics, the fundamentals, the training, how they work, any questions we have, safety, the whole 9 yards. So I'm really excited about it. This is an area I've really wanted to get more confident in, and I'm stoked you're here to help us out. So we are gonna grab the team, we're gonna get to it, and we're just gonna dive right in and get this thing done.
Cool. First question may be, why do I even need a winch at all? So a winch is going to be a really good tool to get yourself unstuck out of a stuck situation in a fast and efficient manner. It does the work for you. It's one of these work smarter, not harder kind of things. So while sure there are other ways to unstick your vehicle or get your vehicle unstuck, this is a really fast and easy way to do it. So I thought we'd go over the basic parts of a winch. Let's just start at ground zero here and really kind of talk about what a winch is and the basic parts. So starting on this side, this is going to be our motor side. So this is your winch motor, and through the front here, or through the center, through the drum, this is the drum, there's a shaft that's going to the gear end side. So motor, here's the drum. Through the middle of the drum, there's a brake inside. The shaft runs to the gear train over here. Okay, so the gears are engaged and disengaged with this clutch lever. So this is your clutch lever. So when it's on this side, you can rotate the drum when you've got rope on it. And then when you're ready to pull, you would go ahead and turn that into the engaged setting. So then to actually operate the winch, you'll need a remote of some sort. So we include, for instance, this remote with a 12-foot lead. So that gets plugged into this side. This little panel over here would come off like this. So obviously you need to get the winch rope on here. So right now we have just the bare drum, but you would go ahead and attach your winch line. This is our Spidura synthetic rope. And this gets attached through a hole here in the drum, and then you would wind that on using a combination of your remote and engaging your clutch and going ahead and just spooling that in. Learning to use a winch is a really important thing, and so the best way to do that is to kind of get your hands on it and learn by doing. So let's go outside and actually take a look at how some of these things work. Okay? Cool. So before we go into the mechanics of winching, I thought I'd tell you, you're going to run into two different kinds of winch lines out there. So this is going to be a synthetic rope. This is our Spidura synthetic rope. You're also going to run into steel cable. And both have their advantages and disadvantages, and the choice of which you want to equip your rig with is totally up to you. Synthetic rope is really lightweight, it's easy to handle and flexible. Steel cable is a bit more heavy duty in terms of durability, and it's also heavier in weight as well. Synthetic rope is easy to handle. It doesn't develop any sharp burrs, where steel cable can develop sharp burrs, so it's really important to wear gloves. Synthetic rope also doesn't build up as much potential energy as a steel cable does. So in the unlikely event of a rope failure, synthetic rope is going to drop to the ground immediately and then come back, whereas steel cable has a propensity to build up more energy and can be a little more hard to control. So that's why we generally suggest having a winch line damper on the line. If you are going to be winching over things with synthetic, it's a good idea to have this sleeve. This is a sliding sleeve, like a ballistic nylon sleeve. And you would put that over the apex of whatever you're winching over, and then the rope will pass through that, protecting it from abrasion. So we're going to demonstrate a winching scenario here, okay? So here we've got Rufio with a Xeon Platinum winch, and stuck over that way, we've got Samson. So what we're going to set up here is what we call a single line pull. A single line pull is one winch line out from the winch to the vehicle that is stuck. To begin with, what we're going to do is unlock the clutch, and that's going to go into free spool mode. So we're going to go from engaged to free spool. It's going to allow the drum to turn. So I'm going to simply click this button on our remote. You'll hear that. That means it's unlocked. So now we're going to walk that over. You can grab onto this hook strap. do what we call the Warn walk. So this is going to be what we call a screw pin shackle. This is a Warn Epic shackle. And so to attach this, all you do is you unscrew this pin and then find your recovery point. So we can go to the back of this bumper right here. This simply fits around here. Go ahead and start to screw in your shackle. What you want to do is you want to get this hand tight and then turn it back about a quarter turn. And the reason for that is once you get tension on this, the whole system here is going to get taut. So you want the hook in the up position, not like this. Now the reason for that is if you have it this way, it's going to come down into the ground. If you had it this way, it would go up. And obviously that's not good. So we want to keep, for safety reasons, we want to always hook up. So one thing we'll also want to throw on here is a damper of some sort. Something to get some weight onto that line. And that's going to just help that line fall to the ground in the unlikely case of a winch rope failure. The next thing we want to do is make sure we get a safe distance away from this scenario. It's always a good idea to have this vehicle with the winch in neutral and your foot on the brake when recovering. You don't want to have this in park if it's an automatic vehicle, because there's a design in the transmission that could be damaged if it's in park, and you could even have to rebuild the transmission because you're going to have metal bits in there. So have it in neutral, have your foot on the brake. So we'll go ahead and just simply use this remote, and as you can see, it starts bringing the vehicle forward. Yep, you want to walk it, and you want to optimally get it smoothly and evenly spooled onto the drum.
All right, Andy, awesome class. Learn to talk. Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
If somebody didn't have you at their disposal, where could they find some more information on winching?
Sure, so you can go to warn.com and download our basic guide to winching techniques. That's going to show you all the stuff you need to get going winching and learn how to use your winch.
Awesome. Thanks again for having us. Thank you again for coming.
Yeah.